Statistics are an interesting aspect of how we learn about human trafficking, and especially the commercial sexual exploitation of our children, the child sex trafficking that's in the news so much. And I really want people to understand that a lot of the early statistics that are still out there, you know, anything you put on the internet is there forever, are really scary statistics. But those early statistics were arrived at because we didn't have real studies where we talked to real people. We just made extrapolations. We said, well, there's this many of this and this many of that, and we multiplied it and said there's 300,000 kids. But now we actually have had time to do studies. We've collected the data. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children now annually adjusts their report to show that kids who are missing and perhaps have run away, 1 in 5 or 1 in 6, every year it fluctuates a little, may be trafficking victims. And if there's 32,000 missing children a year and it's 1 in 6, you do the math, it's not a 300,000 number, but every child in every community counts. Probably the largest study that has really good information for us as members of our community and around our own children are the Penn State and Loyola studies that interviewed kids who were homeless or in insecure housing. They may be couch surfing or whatever, and 80% of those kids had been approached by a trafficker. So it's the homeless youth, it's the kids who are in some sort of compromised situation. I've heard some of the others talking about people who are in the system. They've already been identified by child welfare as being in an at-risk situation. So I just want to disabuse people of the myth that these are all foster kids. These foster youth doesn't mean you're a problem. It means that we know you need help. So in those studies, particularly the study by Loyola, they actually showed 14% of those that were trafficking victims out of this big study were victims of sex trafficking. But many of the other children, because they're emerging adults, and so they're still in high school, some of these kids are 18 already, were trafficked for labor. And that is also an important aspect for us to think about. The study breaks down, and we'll put a link on the website, how it impacts different ethnic and racial communities. And so you can imagine how different communities want to look at this and find out what it looks like in their community. My name is Dr. Sandie Morgan. I am the director of the Global Center for Women and Justice at Vanguard University.